Hello, everyone, and welcome to TV Literate, a podcast that unapologetically enjoys trashy TV. I'm Gillian.
And I'm Megan. We're here, and we've survived the week despite it being
7,000 degrees.
Hotter than literal hell. It's been so awful. And both of us had a brief power outage, which was terrifying.
It was horrible.
Thankfully, the power outage was like at night. So not at the hottest time, and it was only for 2 hours, so we survived. But I was real worried when it went out.
I know. It went out at like 10:30-ish, 11-ish, and it was just gone. And we just slept on the couch in the cool living room until it came back, because upstairs was always hot as shit.
Yeah, for sure. We were still up. We were watching TV, and I was working on an embroidery, and I was like literally in mid-stitch, and then it's just pitch black. And several years ago for Christmas, I got Kyler an oil lamp, and so we used that, and we have like a Bluetooth speaker that we connected to Kyler's phone, and we listened to music and just sat there in the dark. It wasn't that bad.
Nice.
Like, I mean,
if it had been any longer, it would have sucked.
Exactly.
But it wasn't that bad for the time that it was. It was just lightly concerning that it was going to last for a long time.
Yeah, and then when the power came back on, it was like so incredible, and I was like, oh my god. Electricity is amazing, and it's the little things, folks. Yeah, so it's been a hot week, but thankfully today's a little cooler, so we're surviving.
The worst, okay, so the second worst thing about the hot week that's other than the hot is that every single time I think about it being hot, I think of Rob Thomas and Santana. Man, it's a hot one.
Oh yeah, that is.
And it's just like every time I'm like, man, it's a hot one.
God, it's like 2000 all over again every day.
God, I know. I loved that song as a child.
Oh,
I loved that album as a child. I was obsessed.
That's a classic for sure. So, Gillian, have you watched anything good recently?
No, not really. We honestly haven't even watched that much Survivor. We've watched a couple movies, and otherwise Chris has just played video games, and I've read fantasy books, which I never do. So I'm reading like 400-page books.
Oh, hell yeah.
Of just total nonsense. Like, the current series I'm doing is Martha Wells' Tales of the Raksura.
Ooh.
And they're basically just bat people.
Nice.
Yeah, bat people politics for 400 pages.
What more could you ask for, honestly?
Nothing, literally, because their politics are so easy. Like, should we move? We're being attacked by demons, when, like, the Democratic Party can't even understand that.
Yeah, I used to read a lot of fantasy, but I haven't in a long time.
I haven't either. I've done like sci-fi throughout my life, but like I used to love fantasy as a kid.
Yeah.
And now I hadn't read it in like at least a decade.
Yeah, I need to get back into it, because that's something you could like fully immerse yourself in, you know?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, I'm into, so.
Yeah, I've been doing the like headphone audiobook with a coloring book combo,
Nice.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, that's like the perfect amount of stimulation right there.
Yeah, low stakes.
Yes.
What have you been watching?
So I'll paint the picture.
Okay.
Kyler and I were extremely depressed. This could be any day of the last several months, but this was a particular day that we were both feeling particularly depressed. And we were like scrolling through, we were on HBO, and I was scrolling through, and I was trying to find like a comfort movie or something for us to watch that would just make us feel good, like guaranteed. And I was scrolling, and then I found that there were new episodes of The Great Pottery Throwdown, which was our fucking favorite show from like last year. We binge watched all of it, and there was a new season. And I cannot tell you the relief we felt. We were near tears when we found out that there was a new season and we could watch it. In our time of need, it came to us, and I'm so grateful. Truly blessed. So, yeah, we watched season 5. I've talked about the show before. It's basically like the Great British Bake Off, but with pottery and ceramics instead, which I personally am more interested in. I like cooking shows, but like, I can't taste the food, so, you know.
Yeah. So you prefer to see like the art.
Exactly.
And be like, wow.
And I think pottery is really cool, because it's like something that I personally cannot do at all, and I just like really admire people who are really good at it. And so And there's some really, really good potters. Anyway, it was amazing. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend you watching it because very wholesome, very like just makes you feel good. Like they're always so nice to each other on the show. And the main host is like this big tall guy who like literally cries all the time because he gets so moved by people's pottery. It's so good.
Sir.
It's so good.
God. Did you watch The Great Flower Fight?
I have not watched it. Kyler might have, but I have not.
That one was wild. It has some of my favorite characters of like competition reality TV show who like I still follow on Instagram, but it feels like kind of the same vibe.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out because I love like crafty competition shows. You know, like that. Blown Away is another one that I love. Like
I love Blown Away. I want to blow glass so bad. I know 1000% I would burn my hand off.
Yeah, no, it would be awful. Like no thanks, but it's so cool to watch, and I wish I could do it for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah,
hell yeah, hell yeah. So for today, we are just gonna go ahead and pick off where we left off with Bringing Up Bates season 8.
Bringing up B8s.
B8s. The first episode that we're going to talk about is Ready or Not, Baby Cade is on his way.
Spoiler alert, no one's ready.
No, of course they're not. I mean, you know how they are.
It's like they have all this time to plan, but then 2 weeks before the baby's due, they're like, oh, we should really like do the nursery.
Yeah, we should really like prepare for this child. You know, just a little bit maybe.
But our first thing is that it's Zach's 30th birthday.
Hey.
And so they're going on a surprise trip with him to this place called Brimstone, which just...
Fire and...
Yeah, like, is it a religious place too? It's just outdoors.
I just always assume that any place the Bates are going has some slight religious connotation somewhere along the line.
It has to. So they're renting a cabin and getting some ATVs to surprise Zach. And I noticed that Gil drove up everybody but Zach basically in the white, like, more of an assault vehicle. And they have this big yellow sign on the back of it that says, "Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and thou shalt be saved." And I'm like, yeah, I've definitely, like, basically seen their car on the highway and wanted to, like, and off the road a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. There are, like... Especially when I lived in Cincinnati, even more than when I lived here, like there are so many cars like that, and it's just like, why? It's just stop.
I don't know. Like, do they really think that I'm gonna like be proselytized to on the highway?
Yeah, like who is that appealing to?
Honestly, like I've never been swayed by a bumper sticker either way. To be fair,
I feel like the only people that those things appeal to are people that are already like involved in.
Yeah.
You know? Which, like, okay, great. But, like, if you're recruiting, it's not really that helpful.
No. And it's like most of the time bumper stickers reflect on you and your interests because it's your vehicle and you pick them out. Like, I have a cat bus on my car, like a little cat bus vinyl sticker on the window. And I want to believe with a little alien thing. So, like... You know who I am.
I get your vibes just from that alone.
Yeah, cats and aliens. That's me.
Yeah, that's about right, honestly. Good representation. So while this is a boys' trip, of course, and so Kelly kind of is laying things out, and she's like, well, you know, we're 2 weeks out from Tori's due date, and things might start moving, and, you know, I'll keep you updated, and that's kind of the big foreshadowing.
What's gonna happen?
I have no idea.
Let's see. So the whole trip in itself just seems like insane because they're like, oh, well, Nathan's on this trip, so we have to have a safety meeting. And it's like, okay, we've got to keep our helmets on, keep your seatbelts buckled, no passing, no bumping, no anything. And then, of course, Gil fucking whiffs it and flips his with the 2 littlest boys like Judson and Jeb in there because he was trying to do a donut.
Yeah, and just like fully just flips them on over their side. And yeah, I loved this part too because I loved how immediately after, was it Jeb? I think Jeb wanted to call Kelly to tell, just so he could like tattle on his dad and be like, Dad, you know, rolled us over in an ATV. Yeah. And that is such a mood. Like as a kid, I'm sure that would be my first move too.
Yeah. Yeah, because, dad's for doing the fun stuff with, and mom is for soothing you after your dad traumatizes
Exactly, 100%. And Gil is traumatizing these kids.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he just got them in, like, a full car crash, because these were, like, the big ATVs with, like, the roll cages and everything. It wasn't, like, little go-karts.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all just driving around in the mud. I don't know. I don't get the appeal of this at all, but I hate being dirty, so that's probably
I don't even hate being dirty. I don't, like, it's kind of the worst of both worlds, because, like, if you want to go play in the mud, just go play in the mud. Like, it's fun to play in the mud if you like dirt. Like, you can, like, squish it with your hands and, like, feel it between your toes and shit. But, like, just driving through the mud?
Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either. It's not great. Just go throw mud at each other or something.
Yeah, I can definitely see the appeal. Like, I don't like mud at all, but I can definitely see that appeal more than just, like, driving in it. Like,
it's kind of like people who do, like, car stuff like that anyway, like going four-wheeling and stuff in the mountains. I'm like, why not just hike? Mm-hmm. Like, you can't see anything. You're just crushing stuff with your little wheelies.
Yeah. I just don't get it. I don't know. It's not for us, I guess.
Yeah.
But so Jeb finally does get to call Kelly and tattle on Gil, and in the process of this, they find out that Tori is feeling pretty bad, and she's thinking that she might be heading toward labor, and so Kelly is on her way to Nashville to go figure out what's going on.
Yep, driving like a bat out of hell.
Of course, like you just know that these people are like horrible drivers because they're always constantly late to everything and just like trying to rush.
And they're always fucking around. Also, they have like 19 children fighting behind them.
Yeah. It's a nightmare.
Total nightmare. But let's see, we get a tiny Tori interlude and then it goes back to the boys who are skeet shooting, which is the only thing that could have made this scarier, was add guns to the equation.
It just looked so chaotic. I don't know. There was just so many of them, and they were all shooting like in the same direction. And I can just imagine this going so much worse than it did, thankfully.
Yeah, like, I am fine if you want to teach your kids how to shoot and like shooting safety and stuff, because that's the world we fucking live in right now.
Yeah.
But like, maybe just take them one at a time or two at a time to go do this kind of thing and have enough adults for everybody.
Yeah, there was like 5 of them lined up shooting at once, and there's only one Gil there. It's like, god damn, it's just a lot going on.
That's how you end up like Dick Cheneying someone.
For real. Speaking of Cheney, she will make an appearance later in this episode, or in this episode.
Yeah,
Cheney.
Oh, the one who got away.
Oh. Yeah, there's not a lot to say about the shooting, I think, and the activities.
I think they mostly did it because Aaron and Carlin went to decorate the cabin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for Zach's birthday, because like I guess this trick wasn't necessarily a surprise, but like the fact that it was for Zach's birthday was a surprise. So they were having like a little kind of party at the cabin that they were getting together while they went shooting. Yeah,
and the 3 middle boys saved up money to buy Zach an Apple Watch for his birthday.
That's really nice. That was really cute. Like, that's like from like he was saying, like they're like in their teens, like or mid to late teens, and for them to like save up their money to buy their brother something that they knew that he wanted, that's like really, really thoughtful, really special.
Yeah, it was very nice. And then there was a cheesecake in the fridge.
Yes. Thank God for the cheesecake. I loved that they were just like making fun of Zach for turning 30, and it just felt very, very fitting for me because I'm turning 30. Yeah. 1 month from today, I will be 30.
Oh shit!
And I loved Whitney's comment to she was like, I can't believe I'm married to a 30-year-old, because I have been saying that to Kyler because he just turned 30 last month, and I always like to make him feel old, even though we're literally 70 days apart in age.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, I'm married to a 30-year-old. You are so old. What the fuck? Like, I'm not going to be 30 in 1 month.
Right? Yeah, no, man. Now you're going to be in your 30s.
I know.
That's exciting.
It is. I'm over my 20s. Like, I'm ready for them to be over.
Oh, yeah. I'm turning 32 in like 2-3 weeks.
Hell yeah.
And honestly, I can say 30s are better than 20s.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so. I could really use really use some better times ahead. That is for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if my 30s have been like great so far. Not like ideal.
They've been in the 2020s, so what
Yeah,
can you do?
global pandemic, etc. But like on the whole, I think if I had been 22 at this time versus 32 at this time,
yeah,
I don't even know. There would be bad decisions being made.
Oh yeah, for sure. So then we go back to Nashville, where Tori has gone to the hospital because she thinks she's in labor.
Mm-hmm.
They have this like clip, I think that Kelly was filming, of Tori kind of laboring in the hospital, and she's not quite far enough along for them to admit her, but they're kind of seeing if she's going to progress anymore or anything. Yeah. And Kelly is just talking non-fucking stop to her.
Non-stop.
And I would be so annoyed. Like, I'm like literally in so much pain right now. I just need to concentrate on like not dying. Please stop talking to me.
Like, the most you should say to me right now is, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Do you want some ice?
Yeah, a little comment every now and then, fine. But she was just like incessantly talking and like, I could not handle it, is all I have to say.
No, she does not seem like the best labor fellow to have, but she is one of the most experienced.
Yes, you could say that for sure.
Tori, though, was like in labor having contractions just silently.
Yeah, just
powering fucking through. Like, don't talk to me. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm just gonna go inside my head and dissociate from this moment.
She's getting through it. She is. And finally, in this same like little part, her water actually breaks. Like, she's getting ready to go on a walk to see if it helps labor anymore, and her water breaks. So there's no denying that she's in labor now, and so she gets admitted. And Tori has officially decided that she wants an epidural, which I say, hell yes, queen.
Yeah. Modern medicine is great.
It's there for a reason. Use it.
Yeah. You don't have to suffer in childbirth. Not even if Jesus wanted you to. And I honestly don't think Jesus wanted you to.
No, I feel like, isn't Jesus supposed to be like a good guy?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's the general gist I got from it. So, like, I don't think good guys want you to suffer.
Right?
That seems pretty logical to me, but I don't
know. Even if they suffered, like, generally good guys don't believe in like hazing because they were hazed.
Right.
So,
and it's like, good people don't want other people to suffer just because they have suffered.
Yeah, so get the fucking epidural.
Exactly.
If you want it.
That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying.
So then we get a little clip from back at the cabin in Brimstone. And Gil gets the call that it is official. The water has been broken. There's no going back. It's coming, no matter what.
The tides have turned.
So Gil is making his way to Nashville. Lawson's coming along. I guess anytime you're going to Nashville, Lawson is just kind of there in the background. And they're swinging around home to pick up Aaron and Carlin as well and take them along with them.
It was very cute because Erin rolled in with her little foam curlers in.
Yes, it was good.
Which was a vibe.
The last part of this episode is them, that group of people, Lawson, Gil, Carlin, and Aaron, all driving from Bates' house, or whatever, to Nashville. And I loved this quote from Nathan, which was, when you put 3 of the most dramatic Bates kids in a car on the way to a birth, and it was just like completely chaotic.
It was so chaotic. And Lawson, so they were talking to Tori and Kelly on the phone while they were driving. Because of course we can't just drive there.
Right.
But Lawson's like, Tori, you just need soothing music. Like, listen to my music. And it's like, sir, this is not the time nor the place.
No, do not plug your shitty country music, Lawson. Not at a serious time like this.
No. And he's like trying to like give her like pregnancy moment advice, like labor advice, and Gil's like, oh well, so what just happened with the water? And he's like, the baby's water broke.
I loved that. And then he said the baby's water broke, the baby's not in the water. That is what he said. It's his direct quote.
He does know a lot about pregnancy.
He's brilliant.
Glad we're bringing him along.
Thank God. Yeah, what would we do without Lawson at his birth?
God, I don't know. He didn't even watch the little kids. Gil was stuck watching the little kids.
He literally just like slept in the car. He's literally useless.
Yeah. Yeah, he slept in the car and was like, tell me when the baby arrives.
It's like, you could have just waited for a text at the cabin.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
He just wanted more airtime on the show, let's be real.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
So this just leads right into the next episode, which is called It's a Boy and Maybe One More?
Spoiler alert, yes.
Anyway. Always yes. So, again, we get back into the car with Aaron, Carlin, Lawson, and Gil, and they're rushing to Nashville trying to make baby Cade's birth. Tori is currently 45 centimeters dilated. 425, not 45.
No, 45 would be way too many centimeters.
Too
That's
many.
Like that baby's walking on out.
Yeah. And she's feeling a lot of discomfort, but she's doing okay.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the Bates crew does make it before Tori starts pushing. And like we said, Lawson has fallen asleep in the car and has just told them to leave him there and tell him when the baby's born.
Aaron and Carlin roll in, and Aaron has her baby, Everly, there. So Gil is babysitting little Everly. But Gil is never in the room for the delivery. He's always the prayer warrior outside. That's his role, is prayer warrior.
I loved, like, the way that Kelly was saying it was like that this was such an official role. Like, Gil's not in the room, but he's prayer warrior. And it's like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, you're like associate to the director.
It's like the dragon slayer in Survivor. He's the prayer warrior.
Yeah. And it's so funny because he's like bouncing little Everly and she's asleep, and he's like, well, we're both in communication with God right now. I'm praying and she's sleeping. I was like, all right.
Are you in communication with God when you're sleeping? Is God are those what my dreams are? Because I don't. Terrifying.
God's fucked up if those are how he talks to me. But honestly, way cooler than like regular prayers answered God.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
Give me fucking better last dreams.
Yeah, like let me hallucinate. Please.
Oh, I'm the god of nightmares. Like, oh, okay, cool.
So like I said before, Tori originally wasn't sure if she was going to get an epidural, but like, feeling the actual pain of child labor.
Yeah, she was like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So
she was like, let's go ahead and do that. Which is good. And then, fine, she's progressing and everything. And there's this clip where one of the Bates is filming them, and Aaron is excitedly was like, oh, she's at 10 centimeters. And Tori says, I don't know what that means.
Did you not even Google it?
Like, you're literally in labor right now. And also you have 45 million younger siblings and
older
who have
siblings.
1 million kids. Like, you really don't know that it's 10 centimeters means you got to start pushing now.
I know 10 centimeters means you gotta go.
You gotta go. It's a nice round number. It's easy to remember.
Yeah. That baby fits through at 10.
Somehow. It's kind of weird.
10 centimeters is like 5 inches.
That's a whole ass head and like shoulders.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess that's why their heads are so like
squished
pieces. Like they don't have the full skull when they're born. It's like chunks.
Gotta come out somehow.
Yeah, they're just like.
We're describing childbirth so great here today.
I know, we're doing a really good job.
We're very experienced in this, so.
We are. We've seen so many babies be born.
Yes.
But we do know 10 centimeters.
We do.
But, so she's pushing, and she's afraid that she's doing it wrong, which, again, is just like, Tori and all the Bates girls, you really need so much therapy.
Yes.
Because you're doing it fine. You're doing it good. You shouldn't be afraid that you're doing it wrong.
Right. In many cases, like, your body is, like, kind of naturally going to know what to do in a lot of ways. So, like, do what feels right to you, because that's probably what's right,
Yeah, and, like, if you're doing something wrong, which unless you're, like, whipping out a 10-inch blade and stabbing yourself in the stomach or something, the doctor's going to be like, okay, well, let's try it this way next time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But apparently Cade was sunny side up, so he didn't have the ability to get his head and shoulders out, like, because you don't bend that way.
Yeah.
So he just, like...
flopped out. Like, popped out. Yeah, literally popped out. I love the quote I have from Tori about it is, I don't even know what happened. That kid shot out of me.
It's like, yeah.
Great imagery there. But I
Better
mean,
than
yeah.
getting stuck.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yes.
I'm kind of half imagining the baby like leaving like a tire mark on the bed as it shot out. Like
skid mark.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to say skid mark because that's just poop.
Yeah, that's in human terms. That is a different type of mark. Maybe it
probably was poop.
Maybe it was like a poop tire mark.
Yeah, a poop tire mark.
Double skid mark.
Skidding on the skid.
God, okay.
Nasty.
So then they have like, a bunch of little clips of baby Cade and like Bobby and Tori meeting him for the first time. And I loved how there was this like special moment between Bobby and Tori, like with their baby for the first time. And then Erin just like sticks her head and finger right in there and grabs onto the baby. And she's just like in the middle of this family moment.
Yeah, no, these people have no boundaries with each
other.
None,
absolutely none.
But, at least Erin was relatively helpful.
That's, yeah. I mean, they didn't seem to mind it that much, but it was just a little like, God damn, you have some balls, ma'am.
Yeah, like to just like roll up on two people like snuggling their newborn infant, and you're like, so I needed to look at these cute little baby fingers.
Let me insert myself into this situation.
Hi, yes, first aunt here, yes, hi.
But so then, Gil comes in with baby Everly to meet the baby, and we get all emotional about grandkids,
Mm-hmm. This is their 10th grandchild. No, 9th grandchild.
9th, yes.
Already, 9. Mm-hmm. And Tori's like, what, 20?
Yeah, early 20s. Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy. Okay, so then the other part of this episode, it's time for the family Christmas party, which they kind of planned around Cade's birth to be kind of like let's meet the rest of the family since they live in Nashville.
Yeah. Yep. I just love that they get out of the car and like the baby's not in like a car seat. I mean, maybe they're in a car seat, but she just like holds this little floppy ass baby out in the cold and it's just like runs in. Like, where's this baby's car seat or like stroller?
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah. You'd think that you want like a carrier, like a dog carrier is what it sounds
like. The little baby handbags. I don't know what you call them. They like pop in and out of the thing that's attached in your car.
Yeah, the car seat.
So like, yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a car seat, but like when you take it out of the car, is it still a car seat?
I think it is, yeah, but I know what you mean. Like you just take it, you put it in the cart or wherever you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just loved how they like walked in the door and were just like swarmed by literally like 30 people.
Uh-huh. Get out the baby.
I could not handle this.
No, it was so much chaos. And it's like, how is this baby not screaming?
I know. Poor Cade.
Holy shit. But I guess you better get used to it, buddy, because you're going to have a lot of siblings.
This is your life now. No, and she really is, because Tori is pregnant with their 4th already.
Holy shit. This was like 2018. December 2018.
So I think she's had like, this is going to be like her 3rd pandemic baby, I think. Because her first baby was born, or her second baby was born like maybe right before the pandemic, like early 2020. And then she had another one last summer, and then she's having another one this summer.
Ma'am.
Like, yeah, Cade needs to get used to being around like a billion people, because it seems likely that he's going to have quite a few siblings. He already has 3, and he's only like, what is this, 2018?
Yeah.
Like 5?
So like 3 or 4 or 5, maybe?
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
It's insane.
Yes, it is.
And like Tori's not even like a big like mom vibe on the show. Like she's never been like one who really likes babies and other people's babies.
Right. She's not like Erin level of like loving babies, loving to have babies, loving being a mom. But I mean, who knows? Maybe she turns into that after she has a baby. We'll see.
Yeah.
So then we get teased that Gil has a baby of his own. That baby Cade is not the only baby in this house. And he comes in with like a wrapped box, and the kids open it, and it's a dog bowl.
It's a dog bowl. It's up their puppy outside, Johnny Jr. Johnny, their old Tennessee brown dog, died when he was 17 in the past year. So I mean, like, old as shit. So
old as shit for sure. And I just love the name Johnny and Johnny Jr. for a dog. Like, that's just, it's great. So.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that's my lab, Johnny.
It's Johnny. Yeah, of course. Again, that is Johnny. That's Johnny.
Yeah.
It fits.
Johnny Johnson, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So all the kids are, very excited about the puppy, and it's a beautiful moment.
Yep. And then, of course, because it's a family gathering, and we can't ever skip a family gathering without an announcement, we get Josie and Kelton rolling in late because they're so busy because they just got married.
Yeah,
they're pregnant. Surprise!
They give Gil and Kelly a little Christmas gift, and they unwrap it, and it's like a onesie, and yeah, they're pregnant, and they've only been married like a month and a half at this point.
I know. I don't even fucking know. God, she's 22 now, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 22, and she already has 2 kids.
Mm-hmm. And she had like a miscarriage in between them too.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's crazy. And from the talking head, Josie was like, we were not planning on this happening so quickly. And it's like, there's very easy steps you can take to make it not
you guys
happen.
Were not planning on not having it happen very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you could have been planning a little harder. This will make grandbaby number 10.
All fucking ready.
Yeah.
Josie's like 19.
I know.
And pregnant. Like, she's basically MTV 16 and pregnant. Like,
pretty much, except that this is like encouraged and happy, and those not.
I mean, honestly, if they weren't on TV, Kelton 50-50 could have gotten his way to marry her at 16 with parental permission, and then she could have been 16 and pregnant. Because he wanted to marry her since she was 15, which is fun.
Unfortunately, this is like best case scenario for how it could have worked out for Josie, which is really sad.
Yeah, best case scenario is that you literally get like engaged on your 18th birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My 18th birthday, I got my lip pierced, okay?
My 18th birthday... I don't know what I did my 18th birthday. Oh, I think I tried to go to a strip club in London.
Hell yeah.
But it was really expensive, so we just got drunk.
There you go. Nice. Classic 18th birthday kind of shit.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's 25 pounds at the door, and then each drink is minimum 10 pounds. And I was like... Cool, so we're just going to go to the pub.
Oh, and you were not in America, so you actually could legally drink, too.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to judge you if you were drinking at 18 in
No.
America. That's not that weird.
No, I moved to the UK at 18.
Just so you could drink?
After. Yeah.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason. Only reason was drinking. I was like, you know what I really like? British beer. I like it tepid.
Oh, God.
Room temperature.
I hate beer so much.
I like some beers, but I like light beers that are like fruity or citrusy.
Yeah.
Not like the fucking
heavy
IPAs and shit, or the heavy shit, or like the stuff that tastes like fucking coffee grounds.
Yeah, no fucking thank you. I don't want to throw up to get drunk, okay? I could just drink like fruity little drinks and be happy, okay?
Exactly. I know, and now I'm just like, I don't want to drink. Just make me the fruity little drinks. Virgins.
Okay, so do you have anything else to say about this episode, or can we move on to episode 3?
This third episode really is a doozy.
It is. It's called A Very Medieval I Love You Day.
I don't even know.
I know. So we, of course, know that Valentine's Day is kind of like the Bates holiday, like family get-together, catch-up holiday. Everyone comes in town. It's their fucking
go time.
It is go time.
And it's so weird to me because evangelicals like don't celebrate Christmas big and don't celebrate like Easter big. Mm-hmm. It's very weird to me.
Yeah, it is weird that. It's weird that Valentine's Day too is the one that they chose.
Yeah, like that's the one based on like a Roman saint, like a Catholic saint, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that they can be like, oh, it's about love, and what more is Christianity about than love? I would say pretty much everything else, but. Yeah. So everyone's in town. John and Alyssa's in town. Michael and Brandon are coming in town. It's going to be great. They have like a little cabin that they have rented out, and they're going to do like the upstairs decorated traditional Valentine's Day for the couple's dinner. Of course, that's the day before. Course. And then downstairs is going to be like where the family party is, and that's going to be a chivalry, castle, medieval theme. I think they were all a little confused about what the actual theme was. Like, was it medieval? Was it chivalry?
Yeah. I don't know.
I think that so Kelly was kind of explaining how she picked it, because I think it was Kelly that picked the theme. Mm-hmm. And she said she wanted it based off of chivalry, like this concept of chivalry, like connecting that to Valentine's Day. And she's like, what reminds me of chivalry? Oh, like castles, like medieval times, medieval things.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, in her mind, she was like, the theme is medieval, and it's because chivalry is related to Valentine's Day. But then I think some people took it like the theme is princes and chivalry, and so then like we have like Disney princes coming, and it's like, okay, we're on a couple different pages here.
Yeah, no, it's so funny because every I Love You Day they have a theme, and every time it's weird. And Kelly's like, oh, you know, we've got to make it a lesson. And so they're like, when they dressed up as old people, they're like, that just reminds us that we want to grow old together. And this one is just, we just want men to take care of women kindly. And it's like, just have a costume party. Like, just have a costume party. It doesn't need to mean anything.
Yeah. It's bizarre. But also, it's like the chivalry theme is, there's a lot to unpack with that alone, but I don't even know if I want to get into it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, kind of fuck chivalry. It was useful for a time when women didn't have any rights, or like, we're just basically sold as chattel, but you know, like, not so much now.
Yeah, like I firmly support like being nice to women and everybody else.
But you should do that to all the people.
Exactly.
Regardless of your knight status.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeb did say that he thinks he's the most chivalrous in the family, and
that sounds right to me. Yeah, definitely. So then, like, on top of everything that's going on, because the Bates have to be as chaotic as possible and just like stress me out as much as they physically can, they're also doing some type of like ski trip within this weekend as well.
I think this cabin that they rented is the one that they rented for their first ski trip ever, because it looked familiar inside to me.
Gotcha.
I was like, is this someone's house that we know or something? I think it's there. So I think they like went for the ski trip, and also they're doing I Love You Day there.
Okay. The way that it was described,
still chaotic.
And it's just like too much going on, too many activities, too many people. Because then there's also Josie's gender reveal party too this weekend. It's just like, I'm stressed out.
So fucking stressed out. Yeah, the girls are staying and not skiing to watch the children. And then they talk about that it's 100 days to Carlin's wedding, and she doesn't have a venue, doesn't have a dress, barely has a groom. She doesn't know.
She's just like, it's 100 days till the wedding. Can you believe it? And then they're like, so do you have a venue yet? And she's like, no. And it's like, is it really 100 days to the wedding then? Like,
the venue is kind of what dictated our date.
Exactly.
Like, we were like, we want one of these, like, 4 weekends. Which one can you fit us in?
Yeah, so our venue had 2 weekends available in September. We wanted to get married in September. And then our photographer only had one of those weekends available. So that's how we decided what day we were getting married on. So
it's like most people, I believe.
Yeah, it's like you have to start planning first before you can kind of be like, this is when I'm getting married. You don't take unless you have like a lot of time to work with, you don't have like, this is the date I want to get married, and then have everything just kind of like fall into place.
Right? Like, it's wild. I don't understand. But she's like, they were like, well, you could just have a church wedding. And it's like, yes, that is a good, easy, simple solution. And she's like, no, I want a quaint, elegant wedding. And I'm like, quaint and elegant are opposed.
They are very different. And also, can the Bates have anything that is quaint? I don't think if you're inviting the whole Bates family, it automatically cannot be quaint.
Yeah, I think any wedding over 300 cannot be called quaint legally. Like, you go straight to jail.
Yeah, no. Quaint wedding is like 20 people in a backyard, you know? That's a
like
wedding.
Wearing like a crocheted wedding dress.
Yes.
Like a quaint wedding.
That's not what you want, Carlin.
No.
Yeah, no. So then we talk a little bit also about Michael and Brandon, and they're planning on looking at a duplex in Tennessee while they're in town, because they're kind of toying with the idea of moving, and everyone's very excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
And then we start the weird speculation on if Trace or any of the other boys are going to surprise them by bringing a girl to the dinner, which, like, what a weird thing to think about. And also, like, I was thinking this, they kept teasing this, they kept talking about this, and then no spoilers, but something kind of comes true about it. Like, why don't they ever talk about any of the girls bringing a guy?
Well, see, here was the thing that really got me. Like, I think I had to pause it right around this time, and I was like sitting there, and I was fucking thinking about this, and I was like, so dudes don't have to be responsible to anyone for who they date. They don't have to tell Gil. They don't have to tell Kelly. They don't have to do anything. But girls have to get like approval to even speak to someone, and it's like, wow, wow.
Such a huge disparity in terms of how the boys and how the girls are treated when it comes to dating, and it's like really fucked up.
It really do just be about that hymen.
It really do. It really do. It's just like, what the fuck?
Ugh. Yeah. It was just so gross and weird, like, seeing that disparity. Like, it's fine. Because, like, in most families that are large, siblings don't often tell each other, like, if they're dating someone new or whatever. But, like, in this family, you have to bring over your person for, like, approval.
They need to be, like, an approved person, and that list is very short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very bizarre, and not in a good way.
Nope. Then we get a little sidebar into ultrasound time for Josie, and they don't want to know what the sex is. They're going to have a gender reveal, which we said, and that's going to happen after this part of the I Love You Day stuff.
Yeah, like while everyone's in town still, they're going to do it all.
Yeah.
Josie is convinced it's a boy.
Because they did the ring test and because of the Chinese calendar.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different, like, old wives' tales. Like, there's the ring test, I think, is, like, you take a ring on, like, a string, and if it goes back and forth, you're having one, and if it goes in a circle, you're having another. I don't know.
Does your baby, like, control gravity? Like, does it orbit you?
Not just your baby's genitals control the gravity.
Yeah.
Then we go to the skiing trip part of this episode. Yes. And so some of the members are skiing, some are snowboarding. Nathan is the only one of the older guys who is skiing instead of snowboarding. And the other brothers are making fun of him and saying, skiing doesn't look that good. It looks like more of a sissy sport. That's what Trace says.
Men are so easily swayed.
They're so fragile.
I fucking hate Nathan, but like, at least he stood by, like, this is the thing that I like to do.
Yeah.
And I don't care if it makes me look cool or not. Like, it's an activity for me to enjoy, dummies.
Yeah, one of the few times where I was like, yeah, Nathan. Go Nathan. Like, never in my life.
Then I'm rooting for him to fall on the hill because I'm like, yeah, get got.
All of them have to fall at least once, please.
Yes.
But of course, since it's the Bates, they have to make this all into, like, a competition of sorts. And so Lawson is on the snowboard, Nathan is skiing, and they have to and they're like racing to the bottom of the hill and see who gets there first.
They're doing like a slalom thing course with the flags.
Yeah.
So they're like touching the flags as like their race. And of course Nathan wins because it is faster to ski than snowboard most of the time.
Yeah, you have like things to help you with. And
snowboards for like tricks.
Yeah.
And, like, there's different
It's just
tools.
Different, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a competition of, like, Nathan versus Lawson, that sounds awful. Like, I can't think of two worse parties. But in this situation, just because of people love, like, Nathan skiing when his brothers were making fun of him, I was happy that Nathan won.
I know. I was rooting for Nathan. But also, he did beat Lawson. Like, anytime anyone beats Lawson, I'm like, okay, good job.
It's worth it. Yeah, exactly. Even if it's Nathan, it's okay.
And of course, Lawson's like, the odds were really stacked against me. And it's like,
you chose this. Also, like, that was your point, was like, I will get to the bottom first because it's better to snowboard. Like, so now you're saying you had things going against you because you were snowboarding, but wasn't your whole case that, like, snowboarding was better to begin with? So
yeah, better and faster and cooler.
You're just full of shit. We all know this.
I did have a very relatable Big John moment. Alysa's husband, because we know nothing about John. John is just like,
he's just there.
He says 4 sentences a season, but he's like, well, I don't want to be crazy when I'm skiing because I have Alyssa and all the girls who rely on me. And I was like,
yeah, that's
someone has a good thought.
Yes, that's a reasonable thing. Like, I have a family who is relying on me. I need to, take safety measures to, like, not kill myself. I am the one with the job.
I don't want to end up with my back broken.
Yes. Lawson and Nathan don't care about that. At least not yet. Maybe no. Nathan's having a baby soon, so maybe that'll change, but I highly doubt it.
Oh yeah, no.
So then they all eat a little bit of lunch together, and they start teasing things about, oh, the couple's dinner. Are Nathan and Lawson gonna pull the same shit that they did last year, where they just like show up to the couple's dinner?
And Nathan fucking dressed in a dress and a wig.
It was so annoying. So yeah,
So
there's all
annoying.
this like, oh, what's gonna happen? Like, it's that suspenseful, but yeah. So then everyone is arriving at the cabin to help prepare for the couple's dinner. It's all fancy and decorated. We have Aaron, Carlin, Zach, and Kelly who are coming to work on cooking the couple's dinner. And I love this part. It kind of like, as it slowly unfolded, it was like, damn, they're making a lot of chicken dishes. And then it was like, oh, this is a Purdue chicken ad. This whole clip is just a Purdue chicken ad. I see. Yep. I understand now.
They're like, wow, Purdue's breaded chicken tastes great. You know, I don't know if it's just our family, but my mom always said that cutting chicken and touching it was slimy. So glad we have the pre-diced chicken from Purdue.
It was so bad. It was just, and then there was just like long lingering shots on the chicken packaging, and it's just like, oh Lord, help me through this.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yes.
So they're cooking stuff. Carlin is trying to learn cooking skills from Aaron because she's getting married soon, so she will be cooking for a man.
All she'll be doing now.
Yep. She doesn't need to learn anything else. You don't even need to go to school anymore, Carlin. You're just going to be a pregnant cook at home.
Great.
Except not. I mean, they do have the Bates Sister Boutique, so that is good.
Yeah.
That they're actually, like, working.
Mm-hmm.
But if the evangelical church had their druthers, they would not.
Definitely not. Definitely not. But they're all, making their Purdue chicken. Lots of chicken for dinner. Mm-hmm. Which Zach says that they only eat chicken and beef, so I guess it works out.
I wonder why they don't eat pork. Do they? I wonder if they follow Leviticus.
I think they're probably just like, oh, pork. That's so weird.
Yeah. It's probably like they don't like seafood.
Yeah, exactly. Same kind of thing. We get a gross scene where Evan comments on Carlin in her dress, and it was just made me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, if this had been a normal family, it wouldn't have been weird.
Yeah.
That, like, he was like, I thought she looked really good in her dress. And it's like, you can tell this man's like, 100 days.
Yeah. Ew. Gross. Ooh, gross.
And I get to deflower her.
So then everyone else starts to arrive. They're all dressed up super fancy. And again, they keep hyping up the potential of a new partner being introduced. And no. But they kind of talk a little bit about the party the next day. And Kelly talks about, it's a medieval theme. And she says, you can either come dressed or not dressed. And everyone's like, excuse me? I think you mean like dressed
Gil's like,
up.
ha ha ha, you gotta wear clothes.
But obviously there's like an optional costume competition part.
Of course. Because there can't be... I was thinking about this with the ski race between Nathan and Lawson, and just kind of in general, and I may have talked about it before, but, like, I feel like the reason that they're all so fucking competitive with each other is because in order to be, like, seen in a family of 21 people, you have to compete for attention nonstop.
Yeah, definitely. It's almost like a trauma response in a way.
Yeah, like, the only way that they know how to, like, love each other is by competing.
Yeah, it's fucked up if you really think about it.
It's so fucked up.
Like, that's the only way they got attention. That's probably the only way they got, like, special things, It's just, like, if they won something, if they, beat somebody else.
Yeah, if you were better than your brother at something, you got whatever. And it's like they didn't have, like, outside stuff that they could be seen for, like, going to public school and being recognized for being a good student,
or
like,
being
doing
on
a
teams.
sport or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like you just have to fight for your parents' attention, who are the only, like, adult affection that anyone gives you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't have teachers and everything that are separate.
It's not great.
No, it's not great.
So then it's family party time. And there are just so many costumes going on.
It's so chaotic. I thought the little kids in the little princess dresses were cute as shit.
Oh, yeah.
But then
always.
Everybody else just went way too hard for this.
It was, it's a little embarrassing how hard they all went for this. And like I said, everyone has kind of chosen, like, a different time period, a different, like
what medieval means.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see all of the different costumes.
Like, Erin came in a blue ball gown with Chad dressed as Prince Charming, and she was basically Cinderella, which is not based in medieval times.
Not medieval at all, no.
Carlin wore, like, a wench dress, which I was here for. Like, a Renaissance fair, like, wench dress. But with, like, a thing on top, so it wasn't, like, hussy boobs, but it was.
Yeah, and then Evan was, like, a Roman, like...
Centurion?
It was weird. And Michaela, like, made herself this huge princess gown. She's like Princess Peach.
Yeah, it was wild. It was so big. And, like, a huge thing to do for just one party.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what else has she got going on?
Exactly.
So then Trace shows up with what Carlin says is this female girl.
The female girl.
I hated the way that was phrased.
As opposed to the male girl.
Yeah, at the family party, and her name is Cheney.
Mm-hmm. With an A, not an E, but pretty close.
Yeah, Cheney.
Cheney. Yeah, so they met when they went skiing together in Colorado.
Yeah, and it's like, so Trace can really just bring a girl that he met skiing to this family party without clearing it with everyone first.
Yeah, and, like, where is she staying? Have they been chaperoned the whole time?
Exactly. Like, how did they get there? Like, who was their chaperone in the car over here?
They walked in alone. Like,
need
where
the
is
logistics.
She staying?
Yeah. I did not like that. I did not care for that. And also, I felt really bad for Cheney. Like, that's an awful way.
Oh, yeah, this whole thing fucking sucked for Cheney.
It's just, like, first of all, like, going to a huge family party with this guy's whole family. He has 19 fucking siblings.
And they all have 15 kids and they're married and shit.
Yeah, and then when she gets there, she finds out she has to be one of the costume contest judges because she's an impartial party. So her and Taryn, the photographer, have to be the judges because they don't have any biases or whatever.
And it's like, Trace brought her here and he didn't dress up and she didn't dress up, but they went to a costume party and maybe they just decided not to dress up, but, like, it seems like it's one of those situations where he just didn't tell her what was happening.
Yeah, definitely. She probably had no idea what she was getting herself into, and I felt so bad for her the whole time.
Yeah, she's like, it's like usually, you know, your parents or people's families, if you invited them for Valentine's Day, which also, inviting a girl over for Valentine's Day is, like, big.
Yeah, like, that's not, like, a first date type of thing.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you know, we're not boyfriend, girlfriend. And it's like,
okay, then why is she here?
Yeah, you know, I love you day for your family and loving people.
Weird. It's just weird.
So weird. Also, her name is Cheney Kale.
Cheney Kale.
Right?
That's not a name. But okay.
No, that's a fake person.
For sure.
That's like a fantasy character, Cheney Kale.
Cheney Kale. So then we get into some of the costumes again. So Zach picked a Robin Hood costume, but it didn't fit, unfortunately. And so
I can imagine how that didn't fit because the green tights, I am sure, were the problem.
Yes, definitely. So he decided he was going to dress as a cowboy who went back in time to the medieval period, which is from a book that he's read.
Yeah, Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, which I was very surprised that they've read Dickens.
I know, right? I was surprised too. So, which I actually thought was, like, pretty clever of Zach. This is pretty
Zach
clever.
finally getting 4 brain cells now he's turned 30.
This was funny, because then, Whitney was dressed up in, like, a Robin Hood-esque themed...
Yeah, like Maid Marian.
Yeah, like, so it was, like, it was funny. I appreciated that costume. We talk about Michael's crazy... dress that she made, and she, like, desperately wants to win. And this goes it was like, yeah, it was, like, sad. Like, she was, like, really, like she needed to win, and it's like she it's just, like, a lot of implications here.
Yeah, like Michael being the oldest child with the weirdest name, and, like, also not being able to have children, and so many other things, and it's like, she fucking needs this.
yeah, it's like, God, her whole like mental health depends on her winning this competition.
That's why she made this crazy dress. She spent hours and hours obsessing about how she needs to win this one.
Yeah.
And like, baby girl, please spend some more hours in therapy.
Yeah. Then we got Chad and Aaron, and they're, like you said, Prince Charming. And Chad calls Aaron Princess Bootyful, which...
It hurt my soul.
Yeah.
It hurt my soul.
Yeah. And then Evan and Carlin, Evan calls Carlin his fair maiden I brought from the town I pillaged recently.
I love a good rape implication.
Yeah. What the fuck, Evan? That's, like, definitely not an okay thing to say.
So, like, I feel like there could be this thing. So, like, you know, Pontius Pilate, etc. were the bad guys of the story. But also, the Romans were pretty sanitized in the Bible. Like, you were kind of shocked that they were killing Jesus. You were like, damn, that seems like a big escalation. Not like everybody was getting fucking crucified, which they were. They were crucifying a lot of people.
Right.
So it's like they kind of think that, like, Roman centurions, they only did that one bad thing and they were fine otherwise. It's weird. I don't know.
Gross.
I can just kind of see how they think, like, oh no, this is fine. Pillaging's just pillaging, because no one's ever been like, do you know what pillaging entails?
What pillage means? I don't think it's a joke for a family party. About chivalry, too.
Yeah. Yeah, sir, you're being mostly unchivalrous. That's one big thing. Knights did not steal women.
Yeah, I would say, like, chivalry and pillaging are, like, two opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Kind of like quaint and elegant.
Exactly. So, the ruling is in. Chaney and Taryn have done their job of judging. Yep. And so, in third place, we had Mama Jane and Papa Bill.
Yep. Always a good selection to pick.
Yeah, the
grandparents. Yeah.
Definitely. Second place was Zach and Whitney. I was glad that they got a nod for the cleverness of the costume.
And they really pulled it out.
They did. And then first, thank God for Michael's sanity. Michael and Brandon won first place.
I know. I'm like... And honestly, these were the groups that was like the best choice. Like, Chaney walked in here, no knowledge of these people. And maybe Taryn helped because she's been with them a lot.
Right.
But, like, they picked the perfect set of people.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
No one's going to fight Michael on winning this.
Right.
No one's going to, like, shit on her because everyone kind of likes her.
Right. Nobody's going to be pissed that Mama Bill
and Papa Jane.
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody's going to be mad that they won. Like,
yeah, and Whitney and Zach really did, like,
it was
make the best of a bad situation. So,
definitely.
Like,
good job, Chaney. Good job, Taryn.
Literally dodged every mine in that field.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. So, then everyone changed clothes because we only wore our costumes for a tiny bit of the party, even though we spent hundreds of hours on them, I'm sure. And they're doing the games because when you can't drink, you've got to have party games.
Of course. So they start with the jousting. They have, like, a little jousting set, and they immediately break it.
Yeah, it's like the sock and bopper things from when we were a kid, like the stick. Like, they have them on Survivor, too, where they, like, push people off the log with them.
Like the big Q-tips,
Yeah. But they broke them in half immediately.
Yes. So then they do the little, like, sliding a cookie from your forehead to your mouth.
That was so weird because it was just the boys do the cookie face game. Like, why can't the girls play the cookie face game?
Too sexy. Just
sliding an Oreo cookie down your forehead.
Those facial expressions would do too much to me. Too sinful.
Sorry, women can't have their mouth open that long.
Jesus. So then the last game they did, which I liked this one, was where they shot apples off the boys' heads with like basically like Nerf bow and arrow.
Yeah, those little things. Like suction arrow things.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
I liked watching like Carlin hit Evan hard in the back of the head with one. It was just, you know.
And you can't brace for it because you're turned away.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I liked that one.
Yeah, I would play that one.
Definitely. So that's it for the family party. It seemed like a success.
Yep.
But the next day, like we said, is Josie's gender reveal party. Because, like she said, while everyone is in town, she wants to get them together. They get together at the clubhouse at their apartment. Mm-hmm. And when they walk in, everyone first has to, like, sign their name on a chalkboard on whether they think it's a girl or a boy.
Yep. I did notice that Warden was wearing a Lawson shirt in the Talking Heads. It was nice. Like a Lawson Bates shirt. I was like, wow.
Someone has to wear them.
Yeah, you got to get that merch out somehow if nobody's showing up to your shows.
Make your little brother wear it. So then they kind of keep it simple for the actual gender reveal, which I appreciated. If you have to, I really don't care for gender reveals. I just think that they're just...
And especially as a separate party from the baby shower. Like, if you want to be like, girl or boy, like, at your baby shower, like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I agree. But I just think it's, like, a lot. And also, like we talked about, it's just, like, it's really not that interesting if you're having a boy or a girl. Like, it's exciting for the parents, sure. But, I just don't understand the need for a party to be like...
It's so that they know what to get the baby. Because, boys can't wear pink and girls can't wear blue.
Good point. Like, just announce it on Facebook or something. It's really...
Yeah, send a group text.
But I mean, if you've got to do one, at least go for something simple like this. Like, they just popped a balloon that had colored confetti in it, and that's fine.
We don't need to be fucking shooting guns at, like, M80s.
We don't need to be
explosion.
Like, flying planes a la John David Duggar. We don't need to be, like, setting things on fire, causing forest fires, that kind of thing. It's just not that important. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Your baby will have a set of genitals, and then they'll be born, and you'll know. And you'll be like, well... And, your baby is not offended when someone says they're a boy or a girl, and they're not a boy or a girl.
Exactly.
They're just tiny little mush-mush.
Tiny little mush-mush, exactly.
Yeah.
So, they all gather around. They have the balloon all ready to go. Kelton has his pocket knife ready, and he goes in to pop it, and out comes a whole bunch of pink.
Oh, yeah. It's a girl. And Josie thought it was going to be a boy, but really wanted a girl, and I think she was, like, really... legitimately excited.
I think she was like, child. It's gonna be a boy as like a coping mechanism, like prepare yourself for a boy, which I get. Like, I think it's totally normal for a parent to like want to have a boy or a girl for, it's fine, but like,
well, and especially when you come from a family with 19 children, so like you kind of see what the difference is raising a boy and a girl child.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, she definitely seemed really, really excited and happy. And then while they were at the gender reveal, they decided to do a name reveal as well. So they had like a little game where, what's her name? Josie. I almost called her Tori. Josie like, cut up all the letters of the baby girl name and put them in an envelope for the first and the middle name. And they had to like scramble them to find out. And they found out that they're going to be naming her Willow Christie. And Christie is Kelton's mom's name. And as a reminder, Kelton's mom died actually in childbirth. Not with Kelton, but with his sister, I think.
Yeah.
So it's very meaningful. And obviously, I love the name Willow. Willow is my dog's name. So, which like, I think it is also a good human name.
It's a fine human name.
Yeah, it's cute. And it's very like, it's like trendy without being too trendy.
Yeah, it's not like naming your kid Fern.
Or like Braylon or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Willow. I mean, it's a
cute name.
It's a cute name, and I have a very like
I feel like
good
they have like a
association
whole tree theme though, because didn't she name like her next kid
Hazel.
like Spruce or something?
Hazel.
Hazel's still kind of a weird name. But
yeah, it's
a much more common name, but it's still kind of weird.
Hazel and Willow, they both feel like they fit together, but almost like too well in a way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Almost a little too themey.
Honestly, to me, they just feel like sad beige babies from Werner Herzog.
Yeah, which, I mean, she has basically sad beige. I mean, they don't seem sad, but they're definitely beige babies.
Yeah, it's like the influencer.
Exactly.
Everything's beige so that the product pops.
Right, yeah, definitely. They're very just like pretty neutral, generally well-liked names. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, they're not going to upset anyone, which is a good choice. Like, that's a good choice for a name.
Still better than Cade.
Definitely better than Cade. And then I also like that I think it's really sweet that they're naming her middle name after Kelton's mom, and it seemed to really touch his family when they found that out, so that's really nice.
I just feel like they all need so much fucking therapy.
Yeah.
Because, like, his dad, that man, oof.
That's rough as fuck.
Rough as fuck. And, like, in the evangelical church even, it's even harder, because, like, getting remarried?
Right.
It's remarried. Like, what evangelical woman is going to marry someone, like a man with children?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to have to marry a 20-year-old or someone with a dead husband.
Yeah. It's rough for sure. I feel very, very bad for him. All of them. Honestly, it's like that's just about
that sucks.
Worst situation you could deal with.
Yeah, and it's surprisingly common in the U.S. because we're fucked on maternal mortality rates.
It's really great here. It's going well.
Yeah, we're doing good, sweaty.
So the last episode that we're going to talk about for today is called, on a different note, A Blushing Bride to Be.
Oh man, we're Carlining. We're gonna go get a fucking dress.
We are.
90 days before the wedding.
Yes. So we're going to Nashville because Carlin has found a specific dress that she has fallen in love with. And there's a store in Nashville that I guess had it or could get it in. So they're going down there, and they're obviously going to visit Tori and check on baby Cade while they're there. And I guess just since they're in Nashville, Lawson has to be there too, because he's just like always in Nashville with them. Like, why is he going? Why is he there? Why?
Because if you're in Nashville, you're gonna get country famous. Someone's gonna see you and be like, "Oh man, you're the next Blake Shelton."
You gotta be. You might be spotted. You never know. You gotta always be on. Always be ready to go.
I mean, you got all those cameras filming you, so maybe some producers and what will think you're important and good.
Mm-hmm. So we get a little scene in Tori's house. They're like, seeing Cade and talking a little bit about Carlin's wedding. She's planning for an outdoor wedding. We still, I guess, don't know for sure, but planning for an outdoor wedding. And Lawson and Tori just keep talking about like all of the bad things that could go wrong in an outdoor wedding. And which, like, these are all things that you need to be thinking about when you're planning an outdoor wedding. So they're valid, but
Carlin definitely was trying on a dress that day. So she started fucking spiraling.
Yeah, she was like crying, and it was just like too much. And it was like, this is not the time or place for this. Like, wedding dress shopping is very stressful. I was so anxious. And it was like, it's just very stressful for like pretty much everyone. So like, let's just like not make the experience any more stressful than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thankfully, Tori is one of the few children that has emotional IQ, and she was realizing like, oh fuck, I probably shouldn't have said this right now.
We should probably stop now, but Lawson, of course, does not get that at all. But
no.
What else?
Also, didn't we already know Carlin was gonna get married outside? Like, didn't they already volunteer Chad to like make a stage and everything?
Yeah, they've already talked about this, but it's kind of hard to tell like
where we
are, the timeline of everything, and then also like what's an actual decision and what's just being like tossed around as an option, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm assuming since they keep talking about it that it is going to be an outdoor wedding, but we'll see, I guess.
We'll see.
We will see. So while the family's in Nashville, they decide they're going to have a little bit of fun before we go dress shopping, and we're going to go to Topgolf.
Because if we can't compete, what'll we do?
What's the point in being alive if you're not competing with your siblings?
It just feels like how like puppies are raised.
Yeah, this is like Hector. This is it's
stressful. Like we don't need to compete for resources anymore. We've figured this out as humans. Like we're not doing a very good job at like distributing those resources to everybody equally and stuff, but like we have them.
Yes. Yes. So Lawson is being horrible and annoying and competitive as always.
So he bets Aaron $100 that she can't beat him.
Yes. But unfortunately for Lawson, Aaron seems to be like really have the hand at scoring in Topgolf, because Lawson is just basically trying to get the ball as far as he can, but that's like not the point.
Yeah, that's like a regular driving range, not like Topgolf.
Yeah, I think Topgolf you like hit it into like different like goals and stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, he was just like not playing it as it should be, because he thought he was doing it right, because he thought his way is right, because he's annoying as fuck. Yeah. But it was nice because Aaron ended up beating him.
Beat the shit out of him, 65-38.
Yes, this is the second time in these group of episodes that we have seen Lawson get his ass handed to him by one of his siblings, and it was really the therapy that I've needed. Yeah,
and Aaron was the best too, because like Aaron really is the most well-adjusted of them, I think. And it may just be because she's married to Chad.
Yeah, that's true. But she, like, really did not care. Like, she's like, I don't care.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm just having a nice time. And it is really fun to make my brother, my shitty, like, not pretentious. What's the word I'm looking for? Like...
Cocky,
thank you. Brother.
Yeah.
He gets to lose, and it's making him really upset.
And that's really happy for me.
Yeah, which I can understand, like, wanting to make your sibling upset a little
I
bit.
mean, I would want to make I have a brother who's a perfectly nice guy, nothing like Lawson, not nearly as annoying. Even I like to get, like, hand his ass to him sometimes, okay?
Yeah, that's, like, regular sibling competitiveness, but, like, not having to compete for everything.
Exactly. But, like, if Lawson were my brother, oh, yeah. Like, creaming him would be on a different level.
I'd be practicing, like, weird shit, like dart throws and
just
shit.
Get good at
just
anything.
In case.
You never know.
Yeah.
You have to always be on top of your game.
Yeah, and then just pretend to be really bad at it, and then just fucking wipe the floor with them.
Right. Perfect.
And so they're all trying to tell him, like, Lawson's trying to, like, scheme, like, how can I win this? How can I, like, beat her? And then they're like, you just shoot it in the hole.
Yeah.
The hole that she's shooting it into. Like, everyone aim for the goal. That gives you points. And he's like, I can't stoop that low.
So that's
like,
rules.
You can't play by the rules? Like, what the fuck?
It's so annoying. And it's like, literally just watch what she's doing and do it better.
Yeah.
That's how you...
But also... iconic move for Erin to take all the heat off of Carlin and have her, like, just be able to chill and be anxious about just the wedding dress because she gets to see Lawson get his ass handed to him.
Definitely probably good for Carlin. Like, a good start to the day. Like, not really involved. I get to watch something light and I don't have to participate really at all.
And she gets to hang out with Evan and just...
yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So then we get another section of ad. Which I was so confused about the scene when it started. And this was another one of those that just kind of, like, it started to make sense as, like, all the pieces came together. So Evan is at, like, a coffee shop or something, and Kelly is meeting him to talk over honeymoon plans, which that I thought was weird because, like, why is Kelly involved in this? It's Carlin's honeymoon. And also he even said that, like, it's not a surprise for Carlin. So, like, why is Carlin not here? What is happening? And so then he starts talking about he wants to avoid travel scams online.
Which, like, sir, I know this is an ad and this is just, like, for dummies. But, like, if you can tell what's a scam for the most part on the internet. Like, if you have, like, 4 tools in your tool belt of brain.
And just, like, any common sense. Like, he was like, we learned that, like, a $12 resort probably isn't good. And it's like, you learned that just now?
Yeah, it's like it makes so much more sense when you see, like, these things, like, people getting scammed by, like, people calling and being like, oh, I'm from the IRS. Or, like, whatever. You're like, okay, I understand. I am the, like, outlier here.
Right, yeah.
Who can tell when things are scams. But there are a lot of people who cannot tell. Who do not have that tool in their tool belt.
Well, thankfully for Evan and anyone who does get scammed easily, the AARP site has a really good travel scam tool that can help you identify travel scams. And this is now the second time that we have had an AARP, like, travel ad in Reading Updates.
Yeah. It was so weird. And it felt like Kelly was telling a fake story at one point where she's like, oh, we booked once and then we had to cancel it and we didn't get our money back. And it's like, okay, there are no details in that. Like, that's just a lie. Like,
I feel like you're just you're just saying, it's all just, like, AARP's like, here, talk about these kind of things.
Yeah, like, I don't think they traveled much before Up TV started footing the bill.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It was a mess. This whole scene was just a mess. But they're thinking of going to the Dominican Republic for their honeymoon. So, great.
Good job.
Cool.
I guess. I don't know.
So then finally, it is time to look at the dress.
It's time to look at the dress. And I was just so glad this whole episode, it's not fucking Miss Renee again.
I know. Damn, Miss Renee's been shafted here. But like we said,
there's like going to be Miss Renee's competition.
I know, right? But like I said, Carlin has a specific dress that she found online that she really fell in love with. So she picks out a couple other dresses to try on too, but she starts with the dress. And it's very, like, poofy and princessy, which definitely seems to be what she wants. But the problem is that it's, like, a blush pink color, and Carlin didn't know this. So...
yeah, which, like, it's not that pink.
No, it's very light pink. It's definitely not pink. It's very blush.
Yeah. And so she's like, oh, no, maybe I should have a white dress, da-da-da. And it's like, just... even though everyone loves it, she looks so good in it, it's still a bridal looking dress. Like, she's not wearing, like, a hot pink, like, form-fitting dress that doesn't look like a wedding dress.
Right. There's no other occasion you could wear this dress, really, except for your wedding.
Yeah, your wedding or like a ball.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's it.
You might as well just go for it if you love it. She does try on a couple of other gowns that are white but have like similar silhouettes, but she just like doesn't really like any of them, and she just keeps
honestly,
coming back.
The white looks way too like white on her too. So,
it's pretty rare that like a white dress is like my favorite for somebody. I tend to like more like muted white colors, like an ivory. Mine was almond, so something like that. Mine
was champagne.
There you go. Yeah, but white often looks like really harsh.
Very white.
Yeah.
Like you can have like a white like skirt and a bit of a different colored top with like the underlay and whatever, and you can go like bright white there. But
definitely,
you gotta have some color, or else you just look either washed out or like very tan.
Yeah. So eventually she tries on the pink dress again and is like, okay, yeah, this is it. There's nothing else that compares. So she goes with the pink dress, and I'm proud of her for that, because it definitely seemed like the right choice for her. And even though she was a little uncomfortable with it, like everyone else was encouraging her, which was nice to see, because I feel like in most Bates wedding dress sequences, they're like so fucking awful to each other, but at least here,
to be fair, it's Carlin usually who's terrible.
That is true. Fuck, maybe she didn't deserve this encouragement.
I know, she should have gotten roasted, but I mean, she did try on those other two dresses, and everyone literally groaned when she came out on the third one. They were like, edit.
But at least they all liked the one that she liked, so it worked out well for them.
Yeah, I mean, Carlin has good taste for the most part. It's just she's a dick sometimes.
Like, this dress definitely isn't my style. Like, it's not something that I would pick, but it's beautiful dress, and like she looks lovely in it, so I'm all for it.
It's very like I don't know if it's quaint or elegant, but
it's definitely more elegant than quaint.
Yeah, it has like applique lace flowers on it, which is the only thing that's close to quaint, but it looks more like cottagecore elegant.
Yeah, it's very like frilly and
but maybe we'll be good for an outdoor wedding. Like,
sure. Cute. Yeah, we will have to see if it all comes together. I mean, I know they do get married at some point, but like
they do wed.
They do wed, but I'm already stressed out about it, because it's like
I know.
Couple months
I'm afraid she's gonna have like fucking brown bridesmaids dresses and shit.
Oh Lord.
I haven't looked at anything about her wedding.
I haven't either. I don't want spoilers. I am thinking about like where I was like 100 days before my wedding, and like everything was planned. Like, we even had like all the food picked out, everything. Like, I didn't have anything to do left.
Yeah, like we had a pretty quick engagement, like to wedding turnaround, because we were like, we should just get married in the winter, because we both like the winter. So we were like, all right, so we got engaged in April and we got married in December, and like we were done planning and done doing everything and paying for everything 100 days before.
Yeah. Like the only things that I had to do were like little things, like the name cards for like, but that's like that's like the last week.
Figure out your makeup.
Yeah. It's just like, I can't imagine being 100 days out and not having a venue or like food or like
a dress,
anything. Yeah. It's just like, I cannot live like that.
But I guess like they don't have booze.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of the time the receptions don't require or like expect food.
Which is weird, but all right.
But I guess when you have a 500 person wedding, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't
know. It's weird.
It is weird, but
I don't understand these people in many ways.
That's the truth. They just baffle me in more ways than I can describe.
It's just in God's hands.
I guess so. God. No, I do not trust God, okay? He's
done some bad shit, or he's let some bad shit happen.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like everyone should have been like, what the fuck? This is not a good guy after the Holocaust.
Good point. Good point.
That alone feels like if there were somebody upstairs calling the shots.
Shouldn't have happened.
And we're quote unquote loving.
Yes.
Holocaust seems like a pretty big fuck up.
It was pretty bad, I would say. The Holocaust.
And you really could have like solved that one with like one big good like God strike. Just kill baby Hitler.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just a long time ago. Like nip that shit in the bud when it started. Yeah. Damn. But here we are. Thanks, God.
Thanks God.
And I think that about wraps us up for today. Thanks God.
Let's end that note on the Holocaust.
We'll stop talking now because we're now going off on tangents on, horrible events in history. Yeah. So, which we don't need to hear any more about because we're living horrible events in history.
We are, truly.
Anyway, if you have anything to say about this episode or any of our other episodes, or if you have anything you would like us to talk about, cover in the future, you can send us an email at tvliterate@gmail.com.
And you can find us all over the internet at TV Literate. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, Facebook. We're everywhere. If you have anything that you want to send us or anything you want to say, we love talking to you guys and getting posts from Juicy Dish or anything.
We love all the juice. All the dish.
Yeah, like, seriously, again, I'm putting the call out there. If anybody knows anyone who works at Up TV and knows why the Bates got canceled, please put me out of my misery. I have to know.
We have to know. I was just talking to Kyler about this the other day, and I was laying it all out, and
I know, I'm like, what is it?
Such a mystery. One of the biggest mysteries.
We're finally coming up on the second half of the year, though.
Yeah.
Like, we're 3 days now officially into the second half of the year, which means we may get the IBLP.
Oh, yeah, documentary.
Documentary. Yeah, which has been teased for the end of this year. Ooh. Which may be the problem.
I hope that's the problem. I hope we find out some
we get answers. I know. They can't keep it secret for this long.
I know. It's too much. It's too much for me to bear.
It's too much.
But if you have a moment and you want to leave us a review, that would be great too. And we will see you guys very soon for another episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.